Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
Good morning from Atlanta. It's Arizona Diamondbacks baseball. Brought to you by Sanderson Ford. We're at brand new SunTrust Park, where the D-backs look to snap their first 4-game losing streak of the year. Zach Godley versus the Braves. Jaime Garcia. Glad you're with us for D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. Good morning from SunTrust Park and welcome to the broadcast. Bob Brenly is on assignment. BB joins us in Cincinnati. It's Steve Berthume and Luis Gonzalez along the way as Gonzo, the Diamondbacks, try to avoid a sweep here in this Braves brand new park. Little different look to the lineup for Torey Lovello today. That's presented by your Valley Chevy dealer, Ketel Marte, in there at shortstop.
Yeah, just a little switch today. Marte is going to get the start. They're going to go with the same top of the order. Pollock leading off, Peralta, Goldschmidt, Owings, and Lamb up top. Marte is getting the start at short. Descalzo, who's been swinging a hot bat, goes out to left field. Mathis behind the plate, and Zach Godley on the mound today for the D-backs.
Both lefties, Peralta and Lamb, in there against the left-hander Garcia. He's been a little hittable lately. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, he has. And plus, this ballpark has been known to have good left-handed hitters take it out to right field.
Well, it's been a rough go here for Jaime Garcia. Last 4 starts, 23 earned runs allowed in 22 innings. Yikes.
Yeah, and we hope that trend continues for these D-backs. They've been scuffling to get the big hit, so we hope that somebody can come up big for the Diamondbacks today.
Zach Godley gets the baseball. First pitch is coming up next from SunTrust Park in Atlanta on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Gila River Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up today at any Gila River hotels and casinos location. By Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing, choose Chaz. By Jack in the Box and the Jumbo Jack, a home run for your mouth. By Santan Ford, we are Santan Ford. By the Donor Network of Arizona, sign up, save lives. Visit donatelifeaz.org. And by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. Just a little northwest of downtown Atlanta, where it is a Sunday special brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Steve Berthume, Gonzo, Jody Jackson here as the D-backs look to avoid a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Braves. And on the mound for Atlanta, your Ram truck starter is left-hander Jaime Garcia, who is now 31 years old. He's been around a while. Longtime St. Louis Cardinal. He was there for 8 seasons, his first year as a Brave, and he's Won just twice in 16 starts, Gonzo, with Atlanta.
Yeah, he's had a rough start. He's coming off a tough outing against Houston. He gave up 5 runs in 6 innings. Seemed like he didn't throw that poorly, though. He's got a fastball, curveball, slider, change. So let's hope the D-backs can jump on him early.
Take a look at Atlanta defensively. That's brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Yeah, the Atlanta Braves going with the same outfield from left to right. Matt Kemp in left, Ender Inciarte in center, Nick Markakis in right. Going with the infield of Freddie Freeman at third today. Dansby Swanson getting the start at short. Brandon Phillips at second. Matt Adams at first. Behind the plate, Tyler Flowers. And on the mound, Jaime Garcia.
Ryan Blakeney is our plate umpire today. He's got the balls and strikes. Carlos Torres at first base. The crew chief, Dana DeMuth, is at second. And Paul Nard is at third. And Gonzo, before we get going, it's time for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, it's not too tough to get the key to the game today. We're going to change lanes. Lane Adams got the big 3-run double yesterday, so let's change lanes and let somebody on our club today come up with a big hit.
That's the big hit that the Diamondbacks and Torey Lovullo have been waiting for a while now. They've dropped 4 in a row for the first time all year, and 10 of their last 13 games. They've not been swept in a series by the Braves in more than 4 years, so let's salvage this one and head off to Cincinnati to beat up on the Reds. A.J. Pollock set to lead off, and we're good to go here. The finale of this 3-game set, the Diamondbacks and Braves from brand new SunTrust Park. AJ hit the first pitch of the ball game last night into center for a leadoff single. That's a strike. He's hitting .288 with 3 home runs. Gonzo D-backs last night came out swinging at everything against Mike Foltynewicz.
Well, they did. They were aggressive early in the count.
See if they get a look at Jaime Garcia here to start things off. AJ was on base all night last night. He singled twice, walked twice.
Foltynewicz was walking the tight wire the whole game, but he ended up coming out of it unscathed last night.
Went 5 1/3, gave up 3 runs on 8 hits. That stays fair for Tyler Flowers, and he throws off Pollock. This would normally be, based on his DNA, a day that Torey Lovullo might sit David Peralta day game after a night game left-hand starter in there for the opposition. But David and Jake Lamb both in there today. Peralta, 309, 8 home runs. He's hit safely in 5 straight games.
Well, and I think Torey's trying to find a guy with a hot hand here to get going here in the second half of the season, hoping that if Peralta or Lamb could run into one, hit one in the seats.
Fastball in, missed. David has a pair of singles and a walk in the series. He drove in a run last night. Jaime Garcia is still winless in this brand new park. 0-4 in 7 starts at SunTrust Park. His ERA here this year is right at 5. Only 2 wins in 16 starts overall this season. That's pulled foul, and it's 1-2.
Flowers with the interesting chest protector today behind the plate. Got an American flag, a little camouflage. A little bit of everything. A little bit of America all over, huh?
He's covered in America right there.
It's a new thing with all the equipment these players are wearing.
It's a fashion show now.
It really is.
Fastball missed away, and it's 2-2.
Nice take by Peralta there on a fastball in the outer half. Just missed off the plate.
Goldie on deck. Again, a fastball away misses, and Peralta's worked it full against the lefty. 3-2. David, as we mentioned last night, has done a pretty good job against left-handers this year. He's hitting .264 versus lefties, including a couple of home runs. But Garcia gets the strikeout, 2 down.
He gets a fastball 93 miles an hour down in the strike zone. Usually a left-handed hitter's happy zone. That front hip just leaked out just a tad. Swung right through the pitch.
Paul Goldschmidt now. Goldie 312 and 21 home runs, 70 RBIs, ties him for the league lead with both Nolan Arenado and Marcell Ozuna. Garcia works from the extreme third base side of the rubber. Gonzo, does that give the right-hand batter a little better look at that ball coming from the left-hander?
Just a different angle. Yeah, you could see the arm slot a little bit more. Usually lefties like to throw from the first base side because it gives more deception to those left-handed hitters.
Goldie's got 3 hits, 3 RBIs in the series. He homered here Friday night. Last night, a 2-out RBI single in the 6th that gave the Diamondbacks the lead at that point in the ball game. Missed his spot there, and it's 2-1.
I think everybody that's seen Goldie enough will agree when he is going well, he's hitting that ball extremely hard to right center field on a line. A lot of these first couple games here, the Atlanta Braves have been pitching them away. I know he hit that 1 homer out over the outer half into the left field seats, but when he is going well, he hits it to right. He's worked himself in a good count here, 3-1. See if he gets a fastball.
Well, this has been one of the reasons for Jaime Garcia's struggle this year. He's had trouble finishing off innings. Opponents are hitting over 290 against him with 2 outs this year. That's made him among the worst pitchers in baseball in that regard. And he loses Goldie a 2-out walk.
Goldie's going to be very patient at the plate. Very rarely does he chase balls out of the strike zone.
You start doing that, then you really dig yourself a hole, don't you? You got to stick with your approach.
Yeah, you do. And he's a powerful enough hitter that he can hit the ball out to all fields. And he's got a pretty good idea of how to hit when he gets up there to the plate.
Cleanup man today is Chris Owings. 12 homers and 50 RBIs already, both career highs for CO. He's in there at 292. Owings jumps on one, hits it deep left center, and Ciarte gets to it though. And they strand the 2-out walk. Zach Godley coming up from SunTrust Park. Gonzalez named this Braves legend.
Oh, that has to be Dale Murphy.
Good call. There he is leading the tomahawk chop. This is kind of their celebrity thing they do to start every game. So Dale Murphy is in the house. Your Ram Truck starter for the D-backs, Zach Godley. 3-3 in 11 starts, a very good 2.58 ERA. He's from Bamberg, South Carolina. He's a Tennessee Volunteer, and he's got a whole bunch of friends and family in the ballpark here today.
Yeah, he really does, and he's done a fantastic job really filling in that the fifth position in the starting rotation for the Diamondbacks. He's one that we're going to count on today. Hopefully get us out of this rut and get us a W.
Well, here are the Braves looking for their 5th series sweep of the year. Their lineup is presented by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Well, here you see leading off for the Atlanta Braves, Ender Inciarte and Brandon Phillips, followed by Freddie Freeman, Matt Kemp, Nick Markakis, Matt Adams getting the start today at first. Once again, Tyler Flowers, Dansby Swanson, and your pitcher, Jaime Garcia, hitting 9th.
Let's look at the Diamondbacks defense, brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Yeah, defensively for the D-backs, rounding it out from left to right, Daniel Descalzo, A.J. Pollock, and David Peralta. From left to right in the infield, Jake Lamb, Ketel Marte getting the start at short. Chris Owings moving from short to second. Goldie at first. Jeff Mathis getting the start behind the plate. And Zach Godley on the mound.
Strike one to Ender Inciarte, who's hitting .308, 7 homers, a new career high. He's got 5 hits in the series. He scored 3 times. And he's got another base hit. He dunks it into left center field. Well, Ender Inciarte, 3 games, he's led off each one with a base hit.
He's done it all series. That's why he was an all-star this year. He just finds a way to just dunk balls in, gets it. See him choking up a lot on that bat. Doesn't try to do too much, takes whatever pitch he can get, and shoots it out into left field.
Ender 3rd in the major leagues in hits. Brandon Phillips is another guy who's had a big series. 284, 8 home runs. 4 hits, including a pair of doubles. He homered here last night against Patrick Corbin. And Phillips drives one to left center. That's going to get to the wall, and Inciarte's on the run. He will score easily, and 2 batters in. It's 1-0 Atlanta. Five hits in the series for Brandon Phillips.
The Braves didn't waste any time here. First 2 hitters already producing 1 run. Phillips just coming out of the gate swinging. Hits that first pitch, drives it out into left center field for the RBI double.
And now Zach Godley will deal with Freddie Freeman. Freeman 0 for 5 last night. That snapped a 7-game hit streak. He's had a big year. 341 tops on the Braves with those 17 homers. He homered here Friday.
You got to think what his numbers would look like if he hadn't missed all that time.
And a fractured left wrist, went down in the middle of May, returned July 4th. He was out 44 games, and he still put up all-star caliber numbers, MVP caliber numbers, in fact. But Godley's ahead 0-2. Very unusual for Zach Godley to give up that early run. In fact, in his 11 starts this year, he'd given up a total of 1 run on 3 hits in the first inning all season. But a single and a double open it up for the Braves. He's ahead of Freeman 1-2. Really jammed and tied him up inside, and Godley gets his first out.
Nice pitch by Godley right there, just tying him up down and in. Looks like Freddie might have been looking for a breaking ball there. Just caught him guessing.
Godley, because the way all of his pitches move, has been really tough on left-hand hitters. It's a lot of ground balls against lefties. The right-hand hitting Matt Kemp, 295 and 12 home runs. Kemp singled twice, scored twice last night. He's got 3 hits in the series. Boy, anything down there, Gonzo, he is chasing every time.
Yeah.
Down and away below the strike zone, he just can't lay off.
And I think that's because he likes to drive that pitch. If he gets it just a tad up, those are usually the ones that he can hit out of the ballpark. He likes to get his arms extended.
He was binding on every off-speed pitch he saw last night that was down and just below the strike zone. One big reason why he leads the majors, Matt Kemp, hitting into 18 double plays this year. Hit into a big one last night to win the first against Patrick Corbin. Center field for A.J. Pollock. Phillips will stay put, 2 outs.
Nice job by Godley to get Matt Kemp there. I think a younger Brandon Phillips might have tried to tag up on that, a little bit older in his career.
Maybe a much younger Brandon Phillips. He's not moving so well these days. At 36, he's had some groin injury issues this year. He's at second, 2 down for Nick Markakis, the Braves' leading RBI man, with 46 runs batted in. Hitting .280 with 4 homers. He singled and scored in that 6th inning last night, when Atlanta put up a 4 spot, trailing 3-2. Well, Godley can get this guy, Gonzo. 1 run first inning, no big deal. Markakis gets a knock here. It's a little bit of a bigger deal. So it'll be nice to just strand Phillips down there at second.
Yeah, it really would, especially after having nobody out, man on second with a run already coming in. He got 2 of the big horses out. Now he's trying to get this 3rd one.
But Markakis is really good in these situations. Since the beginning of June, he's hitting over .360 with runners in scoring position. One and one. Nick Markakis closing in on 2,000 hits for his career. Markakis fights it off, but he hits it to Chris Owings at second. CO goes top shelf, and he's got it. Godley sprints off, but the Braves get a run.
Rory and Chef Pete Smithing brought me out the tomahawk chop, a 16-ounce bone-in pork chop, and this is no normal pork chop sandwich. It is cornmeal dusted and fried with an Alabama white barbecue slaw on it. Guys, it was really good. Big Bites, 113 if you get a chance to ever head out there on your next trip here. And so I truly did get the flavor of this park, and I'll tell you what, it was really good.
Well, I tell you what, Jody, for 26 bucks, it better be pretty good.
Yes, once again, yeah, thanks to the chef. That's the perk of the job, you know. The chefs bring you out a nicely
so it was free.
Freshly cooked. Hey, it's all part of the...
You've been hanging out with Gonzo way too long.
Hey, thanks for looking out for us, Jody. We got a whole crew up here that's hungry.
You know, I only got to eat a quarter of it.
Oh, sure.
Chip Carey just brought us a hot dog. That's how we're doing up here.
Yeah, I shared with the crew, but yeah, I'll spring for the 26 if you want me to bring you up one. So let me know.
It did look good, I'll say that.
So much good food here.
Yeah, they got everything covered in this complex as Jake Lamb leads off the second against Jaime Garcia. Shift is on for the Braves. 3 infielders on the right-hand side. How about this, Gonzo, with Freddie Freeman now at third, at least for a while Matt Adams is first. Freddie Freeman is the only guy on the left side of the infield. He's playing where the shortstop would be right now. It seems an unusual spot for Freddie Freeman. That's fouled back.
You would think they would put him on the right side just to feel comfortable being over there and let.
Yeah, they've got Swanson, the shortstop, on the first base side of second.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody near Freddie Freeman over there.
Yeah, and there's some teams that do the shift with their third baseman moving into shallow right field.
Garcia gets Lamb to strike out, his second strikeout, 1 down.
Well, Jody, you talking about food. Let's go ahead and go with the day after every D-backs win. Get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
All right, now they'll return their infielders to their normal spots as the shortstop Ketel Marte steps in. 12 games since his call up from Reno. He's hit .240 with 1 home run. He's had some good at bats in this series, Ketel Marte. Marte singled and scored in his only at bat last night, and drew a walk as a pinch hitter late in Friday's game. Fastball in, spins him around. It's 1-1.
I think if Marte can come out of the gate swinging the bat well, you might be able to see Owings slide over to second and let Marte play short for a couple games. Drury's been in kind of a little funk up there at the plate.
Yeah, Brandon looks like, as you said, he's in between, timing a little off up there.
And I think right now with the D-backs struggling to get runners in scoring position, getting the big hits to get those in, you're looking for any kind of instant offense you can get.
Change up from Garcia. It's 2-2. Jaime Garcia has really struggled lately. He's winless in his last 7 starts. Hasn't won since May 26th. Marte drives one to right center, and Ciarte almost carried over his head. 2 down. How about this route to the ball, Gonzo in center?
They usually say the toughest balls are the ones hit right at you. You see him starting to come in, and then he makes a good little adjustment. It's pretty tough right there. Good play by Ciarte. Unfortunately for Marte, it's a line out to center.
Daniel Descalso, 253, 6 home runs. You see the series numbers, 4 for 5 with a couple of RBIs. First pitch swinging, bounces one to first for Matt Adams, who calls off Garcia. And that's 4 in a row, retired by the Braves lefty. He's got a 1-0 lead. Braves 1-0. Fans celebrate summer at Chase Field. How about free tickets for kids? That's right. The D-backs are giving all kids 15 and younger free tickets to any home game next weekend. That's July 21, 22, and 23. Get 2 free kids tickets with the purchase of an adult ticket for that D-backs National Series. Call 602-514-8400 or log on to dbacks.com/kids. That's a great deal, Gonzo. You got Bryce Harper coming to town. Washington Nationals, first place in the NL East, and kids get in free.
Yeah, there's no doubt the end of summer is coming. These kids are starting to get ready to go back to school. No better way than to come out and catch a couple D-backs games.
Here's Matt Adams, the former St. Louis Cardinal, who's been hitting a whole bunch of home runs now as an Atlanta Brave. He's got 14 homers this year. All but 1 have come with the Braves. Hits it hard, but foul down the first base line. Adams traded from St. Louis to Atlanta May 20th. He's got 51 hits as a Brave. 27 have been for extra bases. He singled and struck out twice in the series opener. And last night off, and boy, Gonzo, Friday he was up there hacking at everything he saw, and it looks like he's in swing mode again today.
He really is. He's an aggressive swinger. He's going to go up there taking everything he can get if he thinks he can get a good pass at it. You saw that pitch from Godley in on his hands. He can get the bat head out.
Adams will chase a lot of breaking balls down and out of the zone. He'll go after fastballs up. And when he gets 2 strikes on him like he does now, he gets, it seems, even more aggressive. Swings a lot in 2-strike counts. Just like that. It kicks away. Mathis can't find it. And Adams is going to reach. Well, Jeff had that moment, looked around, couldn't see the baseball, and it's a strikeout, but Adams is at first.
I'm not so sure on his back swing that the ball hit the bat. Kind of kicked away.
Strikeout and a wild pitch.
Tough break for the D-backs here.
Kind of the way things have been going in this series here. The catcher Tyler Flowers had a double in Friday's game. He was 1 for 4. It was Kurt Suzuki behind the plate last night for the Braves. There's a bouncing ball in the hole. Ketel Marte goes to first. Adams moves up, and that's the first out in the bottom of the second.
Nice charging play there by Marte to get the out at first base.
Well, you really got to like his athleticism out there, don't you? Very impressive.
Well, I think he's a great athlete, so I think he's done a little bit of everything. He's played in the big leagues before, so he's not overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Obviously coming over from the Seattle Mariners.
He was in the majors at just 21 years old a couple of years ago, Ketel Marte, and the thought process was, well, maybe he was rushed to the big leagues a bit, so he got a lot of at-bats down there in Reno to start this year.
And that's a tough thing to go through for a young player when you're in the big leagues for a complete year. You get traded to another team. You think you're going to make an impact in the big league club, and they send you right down to AAA.
That's a good point. There's Dansby Swanson, who looks at strike 1. Swanson was 0 for 2 last night. He walked twice, once intentionally. And he's not had a great year. He struggled defensively a bit, we're told. He'll bobble the occasional easy ground ball. Johan Camargo, their promising young infield prospect, has cut into some of Swanson's playing time. And Dansby right now going through that adjustment period that I'm sure is true for any player, even a #1 overall pick. He's stuck in a 4 for 36 skid right now at the plate.
Oh, he's struggling at the plate. We saw him out here this morning getting a little extra early work with Ron Washington, the third base coach for the Atlanta Braves, working on his fielding.
Picking machine. There's Wash.
Well, he can do it when he was a player.
Everybody always says what a great coach he is. Just missed away.
Yeah, Ron Washington takes a great pride into working with those infielders.
Eddie Perez coaches at first. Ron Washington at third. For Brian Stitker, the Braves skipper. There's Eddie Perez.
He got to catch some pretty good pitchers in his day here with the Atlanta Braves.
He sure did. Do that for a few years and be a pitch framing legend, catching Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz.
Absolutely.
Well, Godley's fallen behind on Dansby Swanson. 3 balls and 1 strike. At the pitcher, Garcia on deck. That's out of play, and it's a full count, 3-2. Mentioned Zach Godley from Bamberg, South Carolina, pitched collegiately at Tennessee. And he's got a whole section full of friends and family here in Atlanta today. It's a hot day. Very hot down on the field, awfully humid. Overcast today. Swanson hits one in the hole. Marte, tough throw, and it gets by Goldie. And Adams is going to come in and score the second run as Swanson will get second base, and it's 2-0. That's a base hit. E6 scores the run.
Well, I tell you, this is a great play by Marte making the throw over. Unfortunately, Goldie couldn't come up with a pick. That ball just stayed down on him. Usually it just kind of hops up. We talked about the athleticism. Marte right there. Nice. That's usually a long hop to the first baseman. That ball just hit the grass and stuck down. And 9 times out of 10, that ball hops up and Goldie makes that play.
So now Swanson's at second. Garcia hits a bouncer to Owings at second base. That advances Swanson to third. 2 down. And the batter is Ender Inciarte. He singled and scored to lead off the ball game. Boy, since last year's All-Star break, no player in baseball has more base hits than Ender Inciarte.
I'm really happy for this kid. I prefer he not get hits against the D-backs.
Well,
but
he's already had 6.
He's a hard worker, and he's always been a first-class type of player and person.
Absolutely. It was tough to watch him go. But he has been rewarded after a very productive first season with Atlanta last year. The Braves in December locked up Ender long term. He got a 5-year, $30.5 million deal. Bought out some arbitration in free agent years. There's another club option that could add an additional $9 million to that contract. So he's locked up through 2022.
He's a nice centerpiece to have to build your team around. You got that leadoff hitter, center fielder type guy.
You think about the way they're trying to build up the middle. They locked down Inciarte. They got Swanson at shortstop. Got a top second base prospect in the minors.
Camargo's another guy.
And he may factor in as well. He looks really good from what we've seen. There's a tapper to shortstop. Marte's going to have to hurry. And he gets Inciarte at first, Strand Swanson at third, but the Braves add a run. They lead it 2-0. 2-0 D-backs fans. If you can't watch the game on TV, then stream it live on your mobile device. Just use Fox Sports Go. It's presented by your Valley Honda dealers. You can download the app and take Fox Sports Arizona and the D-backs with you wherever you go. We go to the top of the third. Jeff Mathis will lead it off against lefty Jaime Garcia. Jeff singled in his start in Friday's series opener. He's been a very productive hitter lately. 188 and 2 homers. He's hit safely in 8 of his last 10 games, Jeff Mathis. There's a little foul pop-up, foul ground, and Adams is there, one away.
Fans, a D-back home run today means a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow. Participating Jack in the Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
5 in a row set down by Jaime Garcia. And here's the pitcher, Zach Godley.
Let's hope that we can get some home runs today to give out those Jumbo Jacks tomorrow.
Could use one the off day in Cincinnati. Maybe we can swing by.
BB will be back in the booth to join you on Tuesday. He'll be at Skyline Chili tomorrow night.
Oh yeah,
sure
he'll be there. He'll be at Bob's Big Boy, the whole thing. Bob Brenly on assignment this weekend. You slide over to radio, right, for that Red Series, you and the governor?
I'm going to move over with the governor.
Kicking Mike Farron out of the booth because he's dressed like Frank Costanza here today. Wearing his cabana wear.
He really is.
I mean, Mike Farron got on the bus today from the hotel dressed like Frank Costanza from Seinfeld with all his cruise wear on. And boy, he heard it.
He did get the beat down when he got on.
I have to say it's justifiable. There's Mike Farron. You can't really tell from that shot, but that's a bad shirt.
I thought him and his wife were leaving from here to go on a cruise. I wasn't sure.
He's got his cruise wear on or his pajamas. It's hard to tell. A.J. Pollock. Mike Farron working radio in this series along with the governor Greg Schulte and the great Leo Gilmartin.
We got them all here now. We got our Spanish crew here also.
Haven't seen those guys. They've been out on the town every night.
We're about 20 booths over, I think, down on the other side.
Oscar and Richard. Oh, 2 on Pollock.
Well, you just can't seem to think that these D-backs, if they can get one guy to just either pop one out of here, you know, solo shot, a 2-run homer, to get these guys starting to click a little bit.
It seems like for 2 or 3 weeks now they've been waiting for that big hit. Last night, a couple of opportunities, bases loaded, knocking a run with a ground ball out, driving a run with another ground ball out. Instead, it used to be, you know, somebody bang a double off the wall or something.
They seem to get the pitcher on the ropes. They just haven't been able to come up with that knockout punch.
Well, Chris Owings was talking about that after the game last night. You know, the close games right now, they're just not winning, whereas early in the year they were walking people off at home like it was simply part of the deal. It's just that lately, a couple of hits here and there, just not going their way. That last half inning for the Braves, a good example. A strikeout, a wild pitch, and then a throwing error scores another run. So some of the wounds are self-inflicted. But those are things that weren't happening the first 3 months of the year. But it always seems like over the course of this stretch where they've lost, what, 10 of their last 13, that, you know, as Chris Iannetta was saying, you're only 1 or 2 hit away from really changing the whole story and the whole script. They just haven't had the chance or been able to get that hit. I mean, he must have gone through stretches like this. I mean, it's not like it's bad baseball. Just one moment,
yeah,
to use Torey Lovello's favorite word, one moment away, it seems.
Yeah, and I think the demoralizing thing in your mind, you know, being an offensive type player, you come into parks like this where all you hear about is the ball flies, the ball jumps and everything, and you're not hitting those deep fly balls or getting anything out. Like when you go to Wrigley, the first thing you do is you look at the flags and see if they're blowing in or out. You know if it's going to be a pitcher, close game, or if the wind's blowing out, you know if you elevate a ball, it's going to be in the seats. So, you know, to me, this series here, it's like going to Colorado the same way. Here, coming to this ballpark, the next city that we go to, Cincinnati, when it gets hot there, the ball flies. So you kind of hope that your offense clicks here in today's ball game and carries that over into Cincinnati.
Torey was saying that, you know, they just haven't hit a ball in the gap or hit a big 3-run homer. Those have been the things that they've been doing all year long. It's just lately they're in a bit of a rut with runners in scoring position. Here's another bouncer to shortstop for Dansby Swanson. And head to the bottom of the third. Diamondbacks trail the Braves 2-0.
On the mound, and he and Andrew Chafin, very good friends, like to do some hunting and fishing when they can. I was talking to Andrew today about any plans maybe in Cincinnati tomorrow regarding any outdoor sports, but he did tell me about this in San Diego, the off day in San Diego back in May. Zach Godley reeling in a thresher shark. It took him about 45 minutes, and so these guys do enjoy the outdoors. There it is. In fact, they had the chef in the clubhouse cook it up for the guys, and so I'm told it's tastes just like swordfish.
Brandon Phillips drives one over the head of Descalso in left. Phillips is at it again. An RBI double in the first, and now a leadoff double in the third. Well, this guy's got 6 hits in the series, and most of them are extra base hits.
Yeah, for a guy that was struggling going into the break of the All-Star game, he's come out swinging a hot bat. And he did it once again, just being aggressive, getting that first pitch he can handle.
You ever do any of that deep sea fishing? You can't get BB on a boat. He stays on the shore.
I did. Well, I grew up in Florida, so I used to love going out to Key West and going out there. It always seemed like it was always somebody else's turn to sit in the chair when they were pulling it in.
Not anymore. Freddie Freeman struck out his first time up.
I'll tell you what, guys, I think Brandon Phillips is more dangerous than a thresher shark right now.
Nice. I see what you did there. You're going to need a bigger boat. I'm not sure I'd want to eat thresher shark, frankly.
All right, I had no idea you could either, but I'm told it was pretty good.
All right. Well, those are two guys, Chafin and Godley. They can live off the land.
These guys are definitely big-time hunters and fishermen. Just put me in a hotel, hot water, and I'm good. Just need a shower. Shower in a comfy bed.
You're right about Brandon Phillips. Boy, he was really scuffling going into the All-Star break. Had slumped big time. Very quiet couple of weeks for him, but he's come out swinging a hot bat here to start the second half at the D-backs' expense.
Well, you talked about it yesterday. He could be a possible trade bait piece to pick up something that they would want.
In the final year of his contract, he's not making that much money because it's being picked up by other clubs from the previous deal he got from the Reds. So he's a very attractive trade piece with that deadline coming up at the end of this month. I understand you were telling me just before first pitch that the Nationals finally got some bullpen help.
They did. They went out and got a piece.
They traded Blake Trinan, who had been their closer to start the year, or near the beginning of the year. Got Doolittle and Madsen from Oakland.
Doolittle's guy who probably helped them out. They've been looking for everybody. They've been holding auditions all season long,
and none of them has worked, at least to this point. So the Nationals 9.5 games ahead of the Braves in the NL East, making some moves for bullpen help today. 3-2 to Freddie Freeman. Phillips really dancing around back there at second, and Freeman hits that one right behind Eddie Perez at first.
You know, I think the important thing about our ball club there, when we went in this morning and talked to Torey Lovello, and he always has that sense of calmness.
It's remarkable.
I mean, and he wants to express that to his team, because he knows when that leader of the ship, if he's in a panic mode, everybody else senses that. And Torey does a fantastic job of just not letting his emotions take over. He might be upset at some things or two there, but he's not going to show it.
He's a very chill guy. He's very easy to talk to, but he wants his players to see the same guy every time, whether you've won 6 in a row or lost 6 in a row, whatever it is. He wants to be the same guy no matter what the circumstances. Freeman hits one that's slicing toward the left field corner. That's got to be a tough job for a veteran player or a manager to know and be aware, Gonzo, that, hey, you know, guys are looking at me here.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, it carries over into the clubhouse. You know, when your manager's a little upset and things. I love playing for BB. He was very transparent with everything. He let you know, and he didn't hold anything back. He'd either come up to you and tell you, or hold a meeting. Obviously, he was a very smart manager. He had his meetings every time Randy Johnson or Kurt Schilling pitched.
It's all timing.
But other than that, I mean, this guy, I mean, you knew where he stood and what he wanted from each and every guy.
He didn't go, says Paul Nard at third, and Freeman works a walk. First base on balls issued by Zach Godley. And so the Braves already up 2-0. First and second, nobody out here in the third.
Well, you got the two big first basemen in this game, Paul Goldschmidt and Freddie Freeman. There you see every pitch down and in, trying to tie him up, just as the Atlanta Braves are pitching Goldie away. You know, every team comes in with a big game plan on how they want to get their marquee players out.
Well, he could really use one of those ground ball double plays from Matt Kemp, who leads the majors in that category. Kemp flying out to center his first time up. Got Phillips at second and Freeman at first. Kemp gets one in the air, deep left center field. Matt Kemp, a 3-run homer. That's his 13th of the year, and very quickly it's 5-0 Atlanta. That's only the 5th home run given up all year by Zach Godley.
Oh, and he left that right center cut from Matt Kemp, I'm sorry, about thigh high. Him, like Brandon Phillips, just jumped on that first pitch.
So a double, a walk, and a home run opens up the Atlanta third. Nick Markakis. Boy, that was only Kemp's third home run since June 1st. He's been quiet lately. Two and one.
Zach Godley's first start of giving up more than 3 home runs. Or 3 runs, excuse me.
He's been outstanding all year long. Torey Lovello, in fact, when we were in his office today, was talking about just what a tremendous shot in the arm he's been after they lost Shelby Miller in April. But he's missed with a couple of pitches here today. 2-2 on Markakis. Now it's full. And Adams on deck. There has been a change in the pitching staff we should tell you about. Randall Delgado, who pitched 2/3 of an inning last night, 32 pitches, has been placed on the DL. Randall's got some right shoulder inflammation. Not a real big deal. They're not too concerned about it, but he is on his way back to Phoenix. And J.J. Hoover has been called up for the minors. They retire Markakis, one away. So Hoover activated from the DL today, and Randall Delgado is going to be out of action for hopefully just a short time. JJ had a right shoulder problem himself. They shut him down for just a bit, and a couple of minor league appearances. He's looked good, and now he's back in the big leagues. And Adams struck out his first time up and reached first on a wild pitch, and then scored on a Ketel Marte throwing error.
His number is pretty good too, 290. Tied him up there. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
And Adams, 45 games with the Braves. He's got 35 RBIs. Bidding for another one here, high in the air, deep right center field. Well, big city Matt Adams. This is what he's done since he came over from St. Louis on May 20th. 6-0 Braves. Second home run in this inning, Gonzo, given up by Zach Godley.
Well, I tell you, that ball, I knew he hit it well, but he didn't put a big swing on it. He just elevated up in the air, and it just carried out of here to right center field. I actually thought A.J. Pollock had a chance at it when it was going.
That's 15 home runs for Matt Adams. 14 have come since the trade from the Cardinals. Mike Butcher out there.
Fans, enjoy afternoon baseball at Chase Field with matinee price tickets. The next matinee game is next Wednesday, July 26th versus the Braves at 12:40 p.m. Get your matinee tickets for the D-backs versus Braves matchup now at dbacks.com/matinee.
Tyler Flowers, the catcher. Flowers grounded out his first time up today. Boy, Zach Godley, only 4 home runs allowed all season coming into today. He's given up 2 in this 3rd inning.
And it just seems like right now when things don't go right, it just seems like it's all snowballing.
Sure does. Diamondbacks, their first 4-game losing streak all season. They've dropped 10 of their last 13, and they trail this one 6-0.
Trouble with runners in scoring position. Archie Bradley had a rough first game of the series here. Delgado yesterday.
Yeah, they've made some defensive miscues. Bullpen hasn't been in this series what it's been all year, which is pretty much locked down. And they haven't gotten the big hit, which they've been doing all year. D-backs still looking for their first base hit against Jaime Garcia today. Godley strikes out Flowers.
You see the pitch. He likes to throw it down in the zone. Nice pitch right there. Got Flowers guessing.
Shortstop Dansby Swanson. And an infield single his first time up. Dansby Swanson, very much a local product from nearby Marietta, Georgia. He grew up a huge Braves fan, that he just idolized that whole team. That whole Maddox, Smoltz, Glavine group. Sends one out to center, and A.J. Pollock runs it down in the gap. A couple of home runs add to the Braves lead. Diamondbacks trail it 6-0. Missed the debut of the D-backs 10th inning. It's the D-backs Give Back Show. The D-backs organization has donated more than $50 million in this very special program. Spotlights how it has improved the lives and communities all over our great state of Arizona. D-backs Give Back. It premieres today right after the game on Fox Sports Arizona. David Peralta leads off the 4th against Jaime Garcia, who has now got a 6-0 lead and has retired the last 7 Diamondbacks he's faced. We should point out, by the way, that outstanding special which follows our ball game here today, courtesy of Fox Sports Arizona, will come to you commercial free. So big nice job and a thumbs up to the folks at Fox Sports Arizona. Commercial free. The D-backs 10th inning D-backs give back show right after our game today on Fox Sports Arizona. Great job by them.
I think the thing what the D-backs need to do here is try to get a couple runners on and hope that they can come up with a hit. Just try to scratch their way back into this game. Still got a lot of time left. Looking for that first hit off of Garcia.
Well, they've been coming back all year, that's for sure. Garcia so far has walked 1, struck out 3. Diamondbacks still looking for the first base hit. Full count on David, 3-2. Goldie on deck. That's a little tapper, going to stay fair. Garcia's on it and he throws it away. They have hit Peralta, rolls up the right field line, and Davidson at second base.
You see Peralta right here. Not a great swing, but the result is exactly what you want. Just trying to get a runner on. It's a base hit with a throwing error.
Yeah, base hit, a single. E1, the error on the pitcher Garcia right there. So maybe that gets something started for the Diamondbacks as Goldie steps in. Not the sexiest result ever, but it's their first hit today. Goldie walked his first time up.
I think right now the D-backs will take whatever they can get.
You better believe it. Well, you don't have to get all 6 back at once, right?
I mean, this offense has been known to get hot in a hurry and get them back. Just got to get a couple runners on.
Goldie now with an 8-game hitting streak. His batting average has actually gone down during that hit streak. He's had 1 multi-hit game in his last 8. That was Friday's game here. You know you're doing pretty well when you have an 8-game hitting streak and your average drops. That's a fair ball headed for the right field corner. This will get the freight train home. It's an RBI single for Paul Goldschmidt. Diamondbacks on the board at 6-1.
I tell you, Goldie is so good at taking what they give him. Shoots that ball down the right field line. See that pitch right down the middle, kind of stays inside out, fights it off.
There's the cleanup band today. Chris Owings, who flying to center his first time up. Joe's bunt takes a strike. It's 0-1. I would think that with Freddie Freeman at third base, a bunt by maybe Owings or Ketel Marte would make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, make him move his feet over there, get him throwing on the run. He hasn't done too much of that. I know he was a high school third baseman coming out of high school, but he hasn't played there that much this year.
Owings hits it. Guess who? Freddie Freeman takes a base hit away. That was a liner in the hole.
Seals hit the ball well twice today. Hit one out to left center field, and Ciarte made a good play earlier, and once again you see him good swing on it. Freddie Freeman right there, a couple steps to his left.
And now Freeman will stay in the shortstop spot as they shift Swanson over against the left-hand hitting Jake Lamb. So that's Freddie Freeman all by himself in the middle of that left side of the infield. Jake struck out his first time up against the left-hander Garcia. 1 for 9 in the series. Concern for Jake, or the issue seems to be identifying pitches against left-handers and then just making consistent contact. He's got such a good batting eye up there. The plate discipline has been outstanding. It's just a matter of identifying the pitches that he wants to swing at against left-handers.
Yeah, and I think for a lefty, you got to try to see that spin right out of the pitcher's hand. You know that breaking ball, if it starts at you, it's going to be right there to hit.
Yeah, what was your key as a left-hand batter against left-hand pitchers?
I looked fastball the whole time, but when I saw the ball at me and I saw the spin rotation of a breaking ball, I knew it was going to be somewhere good for me to hit. If I saw the rotation, the little circle dot, which was a breaking ball coming at me, and it started over the middle of the plate, I kind of figured it was going to be away, and I would take that pitch.
The seams on the ball when it spins creates that dot effect you're talking about.
Exactly. And it's easier to explain when you're a hitter every day, seeing it. For the everyday fan at home, I always like the playoffs when they show the playoffs, because they have that behind the plate camera, and then when they slow things down, you can actually see the spin. When guys do this every single day, this is their livelihood, their eyes are trained to pick up things like that.
But that has seemed to be the issue for Jake against lefties. Consistent contact. 76 at bats against a left-hand pitcher this year. He struck out 35 times. Two and two.
Here's that same pitch right down the middle. Got beat on it just a tad. And now what he doesn't want to do is change his approach, because now if he throws a breaking ball down and away, he may end up chasing it, because he's missed 2 balls middle in. If they throw that breaking ball down and away.
Ryan Blakeney rings him up. Second strikeout today for Lamb, and number 4 for Jaime Garcia.
Hey, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 p.m. the following day at participating locations.
Well, Goldie still at first. 2 down now for Ketel Marte, who lined out to right center field his first time up.
And that last at bat with Jake Lamb, he missed 2 fastballs middle in. You could tell he was cheating for it. He got a fastball down and away.
Diamondbacks have hired a left-hand throwing batting practice pitcher to kind of help with that. Did you find that helpful to take BP against a lefty thrower at all?
You know what? I think for young players, I would say yes. As you get older, you start developing, you kind of find your niche with your BP guy that you like to face every single day, and you feel comfortable just going into the games.
That kicks off the shin guard of Tyler Flowers, and Goldie gets second base.
But I think for the most part, guys like Jake Lamb and them either set up the machine and start flipping those curveballs in there and getting more looks at it.
Wild pitch charged to Jaime Garcia. Brandon Phillips giving Goldie a hard time down there. He's hearing it from Phillips behind him. They're yucking it up back and forth. Just over the head of Tony Perez Chica at third. What have you seen that you like about Ketel Marte so far? It hasn't been a whole lot. This is only his 13th game.
No, but I like his athleticism, the way he swings the bat. He's aggressive, plays the field well, just looks athletic out there.
Sure does. Very fluid player, very smooth. Fastball up and in. It's 2-2. Jaime Garcia's got 2 fastballs, the 4-seam, the 2-seam. Both come in right about 91 miles an hour or so. Gets a lot of ground ball outs when he keeps that sinker down. Very good ground ball pitcher. Missed with a slider there, and it's a full count, 3-2. Jaime Garcia this year, a ground ball rate of about 55%. That ranks him top 10 in the majors. When he keeps it down, he's tremendously effective, but lately he's been leaving some pitches up and he's been getting hit hard. But so far the D-backs only 1 run on 2 hits through 3 2/3. That changeup got away from Garcia. Marte draws a 2-out walk.
I think he'll take his chances here facing the left-hander and Daniel Descalso, but Descalso's a pretty good professional hitter. So hope he gets a good pass at one here.
Grounded out to first in his first at bat today.
And Ciarte's kind of shading him over towards right center. They're giving him all of left center field.
Big gap out there if he can slice one the other way. The way Marte runs, guaranteed to score 2 with 2 outs. First pitch slider, and it's 0-1. Boy, Descalso, last 13 games, he's been hitting just about everything. 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year. He's about a .350 hitter.
Yeah, you can't ask for anything better right there with runners in scoring position, 2 outs. He's been your clutch player.
Able to check. Yes, he did, Paul Nart, 1-1. Descalso versus lefties this year, 7 for 42. That's about a $1.70 average.
And I think that number's a little bit deceiving, because in a real world, if we had our healthy team, his main role here is to be that pinch hitter off the bench or to spot fill, and usually being a left-handed hitter, you're going to get most of your starts against right-handers. But he's been doing such a fantastic job that Torrey's been kind of forced to put him in the lineup facing left-handers and right-handers, because he's giving you some of the best at-bats.
And you don't have the injured Yasmani Tomas, and so Descalso, who's been essentially the everyday left fielder for over a month now, is in there today. Bounces one foul. I think they've really missed Gonzo Yasmani Tomas's bat over the course of this last 13 game stretch.
Yeah, I think his presence, you know, just having a guy, whether he's on a hot streak or not, just having him in that batting order extends the lineup out just a little bit, puts another power bat in there between Lamb and Goldie.
I mean, there's been times we've talked about it ad nauseum now where they just haven't been able to get that big hit to bust the game open, that big 2-run double, the 3-run homer. Yasmani Tomas, as we know, can certainly give them that, and it's been missing the last few weeks. One and 2 to Daniel Descalso, and Garcia gets the strikeout and strands 2, but Goldie's RBI single gets the Diamondbacks on the board. They trail it 6-1. Northwest Atlanta. Time for the unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Cody Bellinger, the Dodgers rookie, hit for the cycle last night in Miami. Jose Quintana, acquired from the White Sox by the Cubs, makes his debut in Baltimore. Cubs right now lead the Orioles 6-0. And how about this? The Yankees and the Red Sox played a typical Yankee-Red Sox game. 5 hours and 50 minutes, 16 innings, and guess what? They're playing a doubleheader today. So good luck with that. You'll be there for 19 hours.
Wow.
Those games are, they're tough to hang in, man. It's 4 hours every time, at least.
How about Cody Bellinger?
What a year, huh? Jaime Garcia, the pitcher.
He's having a fantastic year. Made a difference, really, in the Dodgers. I mean, great players in Corey Seager, some of the other guys over there, but Bellinger, local product. You like to see him do well, but obviously not for the Dodgers.
They just will not lose. They're leading right now at Marlins Park in Miami, 3-1 in the 6th inning. And more bad news, the Rockies, who've had a tough weekend at Citi Field in New York, are beating up on the Mets for a change. Colorado leads New York 9-1. So things are really not going well today for the Diamondbacks as Godley strikes out Garcia to open up the 4th. Zach today leaving some pitches, Gonzo, in some bad spots. We haven't really seen him do this all year long.
Yeah, and they jumped on him on a couple first pitch. They ambushed him there. Brandon Phillips has done it a couple times with the doubles. Then, of course, Matt Kemp jumped on the first pitch he saw for a 3-run homer. He's left some good pitches out over the middle of the plate.
And Adams followed that with a solo homer, a 4-run Atlanta third. The leadoff man, Ender Inciarte, singled and scored to start the ball game. Ender's had a big series. Six hits. He scored 4 times. He was talking at the All-Star game about his career so far, and Ender said, you know, when the Diamondbacks traded him, he was crushed. I mean, he was really heartbroken. He loved the Diamondbacks while he was there. Very fond of his teammates. Really close with David Peralta. Had a lot of fun in Arizona, he said. That's a fair ball down the right field line. Inciarte's got another base hit. Ender Inciarte, a 1-out double in the 4th.
He was a well-loved guy when he was there in the clubhouse and around all the other players. The fans loved him. You see a little breaking ball, the inner half.
That's his 18th double of the year and his 7th hit in this series.
Just out of the diving reach of goalie to his left.
He has had a sensational season. He said when he finally got here, got to meet some of his new Braves teammates, the folks he calls friends now, he got settled, and he really believes that trade made a huge difference in the player he is right now, which is, boy, one of the best hitters in the game.
Well, I think when you're a young player, you come up through the system, you get to the major leagues with that team that originally got you.
Godley spikes one, and Inciarte's in at third.
Well, it looked like it got stuck inside of Mathis.
Jeff couldn't find it. A wild pitch as Godley spiked a curveball.
I think that got caught up inside his chest protector.
He was looking around for it. It's in the chest protector. And finally it drops out. Then he spots it. So with 1 out, Inciarte doubles now at third base. Infield will come in a bit. 1-0 on Brandon Phillips, who has doubled twice so far. He's got 4 doubles and a home run in this series, and there's a strike. Phillips bidding for another extra base hit. That's going to roll to the wall in right center. Inciarte jogs in. It's 7-1 Braves. Brandon Phillips today, 3 at-bats and 3 doubles.
Well, I tell you, Brandon Phillips has put on a clinic this series, just hitting balls from line to line, left field to right field. He's done a little bit of everything.
Well, everybody is entitled to a clunker or two, and it's just that day today, it seems, Gonzo, for Zach Godley. Another one up and right in the heart of the hitting zone.
Yeah, when you're hot at the plate, you don't miss those pitches, and Brandon Phillips has definitely had a great series against the D-backs.
Freddie Freeman has struck out, walked, and scored a run. Came home on Matt Kemp's 3-run homer in the third. D-backs have been out hit 8-2. They trail at 7-1. Last night, first time in 8 games since he returned from that fractured left wrist that Freddie Freeman went without a hit. 0 for 5 last night, snapped a 7-game hit streak. And Godley strikes him out for the second time today.
Well, for the most part, Freddie Freeman's been quiet the last couple games. It's just been the guys around him. Ender Inciarte, your Brandon Phillips has been doing a lot of the damage.
Well, here's a guy that did a lot of the damage earlier. Matt Kemp, his 13th home run of the year, a 3-run shot in the third.
Look for him to try to ambush too if he gets a good pitch here that he can handle.
Braves have 8 hits against Zach Godley, 6 of them for extra bases. Ciarte's got a double. Phillips has got 3 doubles. Adams is homered. This was Kemp in the third. After a double by Phillips and a walk to Freeman.
Most good hitters don't miss that pitch right down the middle.
There's the strike, and it's 0-2. Just did get a piece to stay alive with that curveball. That's Zach's primary pitch when he gets guys in 2-strike counts. A big strikeout pitch for him, that curveball. It's really come a long way with that pitch this year. Markakis would be next. Brandon Phillips. 3 doubles today. Kemp sends one to center, right at AJ. Braves add to their lead. Diamondbacks down 7-1.
to have an organization like this giving back to our veterans and an organization that allows them to sustain themselves and get back into the community, it's a way to give back in a completely different format. Give back to people that have done so much for us, that have fallen on hard times, and being reintegrated and getting back into the community and making some really positive impacts. Just talking with a bunch of the guys, they're doing some really cool things, and it's really impressive to see.
Be sure to stay tuned after the game. D-Backs Give Back Show, hosted by Luis Gonzalez. And to hear the Diamondbacks talk about giving out $50 million, I mean, you can kind of get your mind around that number. But Gonzo, I love how we're hearing the stories. We're seeing and hearing how lives were changed because of the D-Backs Foundation.
And the D-backs do a great job of getting all their players involved, and they want to be involved. So that's what makes it such a special bond that the Diamondbacks have with the community and the state of Arizona.
That's going to be a special show right after our ball game today. D-backs 10th inning, the D-backs Give Back Show, spotlighting how the Diamondbacks organization has donated over $50 million and improved the lives and communities all over the state of Arizona. D-backs Give Back today right after the game on Fox Sports Arizona. By the way, that is thanks to Brian Hogan and everybody over at Fox Sports AZ, a commercial-free program today. So congratulations on that. 1-2 to Jeff Mathis as we start the fifth. You're all over the airwaves lately. TV specials, doing games, radio next.
I do a little bit of everything.
You do.
I come to work with a toolbox. If the D-backs can scratch out a couple runs here, get right back in this thing.
3-2 to Mathis. Zach Godley, the pitcher, in the on-deck circle. Not only are you ambassador of goodwill, broadcast superstar, I saw you hobnobbing with some celebrities on the field before the game. You were down there with Jody, and you tweeted this photo out earlier today. Now, who is that?
Well, I tweeted out earlier if anybody can guess who that is. I had a wide variety of guesses.
All right, well, don't tell anybody yet. We'll tell them in a minute here.
Okay.
Take a good look and see if you can figure out who that is with Gonzo. That was before the game today as Mathis draws a walk to lead it off. You got on now. What were the guesses?
I got a Kid Rock. I got a Justin Upton.
Okay. Well, show us who it actually was then. Our producer Brian Henry. I'm dying to find out who that was. He's a big celebrity here in Atlanta. We'll have it after this pitch to Zach Godley. You'll see if they want to bunt and move Mathis along here. Zach squares and hits it foul. All right, so let's see who is that in the photo with Gonzo. Oh, it's the Freeze.
It is the Freeze.
How'd you slow him down?
I caught him on the field before he came out. I tried to get the guy in the onesie, but he's not around today. I think he's shopping. He had to wait for the mall to open at about noon today.
That was the big win last night for the Freeze, and there he is with Gonzo. Now he's a guy in the grounds crew, right?
Yes, he is.
Very good track and field athlete at I think it was Kennesaw State around here. 0-2.
I actually put out a second tweet behind that. I say I needed some help there. I'm still not Twitter savvy yet.
That can get you in trouble if you're not.
I know. Well, I had our crack staff here just kind of help me out putting it out, and I tweeted a picture of the Freeze and then my legend racer.
Oh, that's funny. A little dual shot of your legend racer from Chase Field against the Freeze. I'd like to see that race myself, actually. And Godley cannot get the bunt down and strikes out. It's been that kind of day. A.J. Pollock 0 for 2. You know what I'd like to see is the Freeze wearing your legend outfit and see how fast he could run then.
Yeah, I think he'd still probably win. I'd like to see him wearing my outfit and racing in my ballpark, so then I wouldn't win or lose too many races.
The fix is in. Fly in a ringer for your Legends race. Now Pollock pops up a bunt. Oh my goodness.
That one hurts right there. I think they were trying to give Freddie Freeman a chance to try to field.
Well, we talked about that earlier. It's a good idea with Freeman at third.
Yeah, the idea was there, just the results were not.
And so Godley strikes out trying to get a bunt down, and Pollock pops out. All this after a leadoff walk, so now with 2 down, it's David Peralta. I understand that the Braves for this new ballpark were going to come up with a mascot, some kind of, you know, cutesy animal alien looking thing, but the Freeze has become so popular they decided not to do that, because he's really become the official mascot of this ballpark in a sense. People love the Freeze here.
Yeah, he's taking the South over by storm.
It's a show, man, when he sets up in that left field corner, gives the guy a big head start, and then just blows him away. This is Sky to left for Matt Kemp. And the Diamondbacks down 7-1. Strand to lead off walk. Trailing 7-1 as we get set for the bottom of the 5th inning. Now it's time for our Valley Toyota Let's Go places. We're on an airplane to Cincinnati, Ohio after this one. Day off Monday. 3-game series against the Reds at Good American Ballpark. Starts Tuesday. Cincinnati won 2 of 3 at Chase Field just before the All-Star break, Gonzo. So it's time for some payback, I think.
Yes, it is. Should be a lot of fun.
BB will be back for that series. Gonzo will be on the radio side along with the Governor Greg Schulte. This one's 7-1 Atlanta. It's been a rough night for Zach Godley. We haven't really, Gonzo, see him miss his spots as consistently as he's done today. Everything's been up a little bit.
Yeah, with a team that's playing as well as they have the last couple of days with some of their hot hitters, those pitches don't get missed.
By the way, I know Bob Brenly's on assignment. And we don't like to, divulge any secrets because sometimes the government calls, they need him. I mean, state, municipal, local, county, you name it. BB is there to answer the call. But we have heard from BB as he gets ready to leave for Cincinnati from an undisclosed location. And he says the only person that can outrun the freeze is the granddaughter, Gemma Rose. He's been trying to keep up with her for the last few days.
There you go.
Here's Matt Adams, who homered his last time up.
Hey guys, the day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
Getting a real feel for those Bob Brenly food promos.
When I leave at the end of games, I'm not really hungry.
Well, we had some help. Some folks delivered us some nice Atlanta ice cream on a hot day here. Guys in the booth, the Braves at the TV side, Paul Bird working with Mr. Carey just to our right here. They got a hot dog thing in their booth. They're making their own hot dogs in there. That might not be a good thing, but it's there if you get really hungry.
Sneak over there, try to grab a couple dogs between innings.
Oddly behind 3-1. Look out. That's in the Braves dugout. Wow. This new ballpark, they've extended the protective netting all the way to the very end of each dugout. So all around the infield between the bases, there's protective netting for line shots just like that when they may go into the seats. You'll probably see more and more of that across the major leagues as Adams takes a big wild swing and strikes out.
You see that little breaking ball, 85 down and in.
See, that's the pitch that he's been leaving up a little bit today. That's one of the reasons why it's 7-1 Braves. But Zach with 7 strikeouts now. He's punched out 3 of the last 4 he's faced. And here's the catcher, Tyler Flowers.
You're right. Those pitches that he throws down and in are good for those lefties. He's left a couple over middle part of the plate about thigh high, and those have been the ones that they've done the most damage with.
The thing with Zach this year, one of his great strengths is when he does have a bumpy inning. It's usually only 2 or 3 runs at the most, a little more than that today, but he's able to put that behind him and quickly right the ship and then keep the Diamondbacks in the game the rest of the way. So when he does have something flare up, it's usually fairly minor, and it's only one time. Now, it's been a little more than that today. That's one of the reasons why he's been so valuable for this rotation this year. He can give them innings and keep them in games. Zach Godley strikes out the side. 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. He struck out 8 but trails at 7-1. History presented by Geico, the trademark moment of Steve Psycho Lyons' career. He drops trow in front of Tiger Stadium on this day in 1990. Oops. And no matter what Steve Lyons does, the guy's been on television for 30 years now. This is still what people remember.
You're exactly right.
I mean, it's good to be comfortable out there in front of large crowds, I guess, but maybe that's a little too comfortable. Zach Godley has been uncomfortable out there in front of family and friends here on a hot day in Atlanta. As the D-backs trail the Braves 7-1. We start the 6th inning. Jaime Garcia now at 1,000 career innings. Has pitched a good ball game so far. He's walked 3, struck out 6, given up just 1 run on 2 hits, and Goldie leads it off. Paul Goldschmidt a walk and an RBI single today. So Goldie now with a 9-game hitting streak, 314 on the year. Garcia at 80 pitches, 50 for strikes. Second base under the glove of a diving Brandon Phillips. Goldie aboard for the 3rd time today. Our State Farm winning combo, Goldie on the road. It's now a career high 15-game road hitting streak, and during that skid he's hit almost 400.
And more importantly, it's just good to see him getting on base and getting those base hits again, get that confidence rolling here.
Well, the D-backs had the leadoff man on in the 5th inning. Couldn't advance him or get him home. Goldie aboard to start the 6th. Here's Chris Owings, who's 0 for 2. He's hit the ball hard twice. Jaime Garcia looking for his first win in this ballpark. 0-4 in 7 starts here at SunTrust Park. Jumps ahead of CO 0-2.
And that's that pitch right there. Usually CO doesn't miss. You see him pulling off just a tad. I think these guys start getting a little excited when they get a runner on there instead of just looking to try to get that base hit. Trying to hit that 2-run homer in the seats.
Is that the kind of thing that everybody might feel to themselves? Okay, we've been looking for the big hit for a while now. I'm going to get it right here, and suddenly you go 2 weeks and you haven't had it yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a secret. Everybody in the clubhouse knows what's going on in there. They've lost 4 in a row. They've seen guys come up in big situations not being able to come up with a big hit. So you know, everybody wants to be the guy to get that fire sale started in there, get everybody going.
Tends to get you out of what you normally do. Takes a cut at an 0-2 slider and stays alive. Patrick Corbin, Gonzo Patrick last night, 2 runs, 6 hits, 5 innings. He's looked really good lately. He deserved a better fate.
Yeah, he did. Unfortunately, when you pitch a game like that, you hope that you can hold your, the other team close enough so your offense has a chance to do it, but it's not going to happen every single night.
Yeah, I know Torrey did not want to pinch hit for Corbin like he did in the 6th inning, but the situation dictated that he do that. It was the right move. Descalso came up and had an RBI knock, but boy, Patrick has really improved the last 5-6 starts. And this is another good example of what we always talk about with Torrey. He just always has these one-on-one conversations with guys, and it really has been effective.
Yeah, and what that shows you right there, that picture, that the players are very comfortable going to the manager. A lot of times it's the coaches that are relaying things for the manager. No. Torrey is an open book. He wants these guys to be able to trust him. And it's carried over. You've seen the results all season, the way these guys play for Torrey.
I think that's more of a new school thing rather than some of the old school managers who just sort of rule with an iron hand.
Well, you know what? I think Torrey's been around. I mean, he came up playing for Sparky Anderson with the Detroit Tigers, and He's seen a little bit of everything. He's been around. He's been through great organizations, Boston Red Sox, and all these different ballparks and things that he's managed and coached in. So I think he knows, and he's got a good sense in the pulse of the guys on the team of how to handle each particular player a little bit different.
How valuable is what we're looking at right now?
Oh, this is unbelievable. I mean, most guys will either say, hey, Skip, how you doing? And when they come into the clubhouse, Torrey actually takes the time and spends time with each and every one of those guys. And that means a lot. It goes a long way. And that's probably a tutorial moment right there that he's using, you know, and he does it in a way where he doesn't feel, the player doesn't feel like, okay, he's scolding me or telling me this is what I have to do. It's more or less like he's suggesting or saying this is the way it should be done.
Jake Lamb has struck out twice. Now, you played with Torrey, right? Back
I did.
In the day.
I did, back in the Alaska League, in the collegiate league. He was at UCLA, and you know, you knew back then as a player that he had those skills. He was a great player, first off.
Yeah.
But secondly, he was one that was always patrolling on the field, helping other guys out, and you knew that he had those types of skills to try to help, you know, the other players on the field. And here he is now, many years later, being a part of the Arizona Diamondbacks and being the manager in a big league club. I'm extremely excited for him. I'm proud of him because I saw him as a young kid, just as I was, trying to get to the major leagues.
1-1 on Lamb. Braves have the shift on again with Freddie Freeman, the third baseman today. There you see him all by himself in the shortstop spot. That's Freddie Freeman out there. That's going to be a little weird for him. Ciarte shaded over toward left center field against Lamb. Big gap in right center now. Well, the Dodgers are winning again. I know that's hard to believe. They're up 3-1 on the Marlins in Miami in the 7th inning. And more bad news from Citi Field in New York, where the Rockies are beating up on the Mets 9-4. Wild card race in the National League is starting to get a little tenuous, getting a lot closer.
It's going to tighten up just a little bit until these Diamondbacks get on that roll once again.
Into the shift, Phillips shovel pass to Freeman, and they can't turn the double play.
D-backs season ticket holders get a lot of perks like choosing the best seats and getting the best prices, concession discounts, early entry into Chase Field, special access to events, and much, much more. Season ticket holders, look out for your 2018 season ticket renewal via email this Friday, July 21st. For more information about season tickets, log on to dbacks.com.
Well, that was something maybe you never thought you'd see. Freddie Freeman trying to turn a double play at second base. How about this?
Yeah, I think when they came up with the idea of possibly moving him over to third base to keep Adams bat in the lineup, he never expected himself to be turning double plays from the shortstop area.
Look nice and smooth. Dansby Swanson a little more used to that. They get the force on Lamb. That ends the inning. Diamondbacks in Atlanta trailing 7-1. Fans, MLB.com at bat, your #1 mobile app for live Diamondbacks baseball. You can stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get D-backs home screen icons, app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, statcast news, the whole thing. Download MLB.com at bat today. Dansby Swanson at bat to start the bottom of the 6th against Zack Godley. It was a crushed Frank Gonzo to hear during the commercial break that the Freeze, your new buddy, does not run on Sundays. We saw the Freeze here Friday and Saturday nights. He's become baseball's biggest attraction, but no Sunday racing for the Freeze.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little disappointed myself, but just like every other player in the major leagues, he deserves a day off too once in a while.
Well, it'd be kind of hot to put on that suit and run in this humidity in the sun now. Sunshine is overhead. You got nice blue skies above for a change. It's been muggy and cloudy all day long. Didn't go. So we do have, in lieu of the actual Freeze race, we have put this together with your help.
Oh, there's no doubt the legend looks much more athletic in that.
The legend being you.
Yes, on the right side of the screen.
Not sure that's true, but that was a solid win for you there.
I'm also told that he doesn't race on days that he poses for selfies with visiting color analysts.
That's it. That's the real reason. But at least you got to meet the Freeze. That's pretty cool. Jaime Garcia giving up only 1 run on 3 hits through 6 innings. He's on deck. We'll count on Dansby Swanson. Godley struck out the side in the 5th. He got Markakis, Adams, and Flowers in order. Bullpen will get busy. TJ McFarland, the left-hander. Zach today has walked 1, struck out 8, including 4 the last 5 he's faced. And he punches out Swanson. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts and 9 for the ball game.
I think Zach's just starting to feel like he's starting to get into a groove here. That breaking ball's really starting to get some bite on it.
Yeah, that's the pitch that was leaving up earlier in the ball game, which is why it's 7-1. But boy, he has settled in nicely here. Four strikeouts to the last 6 Atlanta hitters. Here's the pitcher Garcia. 0 for 2. That's foul. 1-1. Zack Godley, 9 strikeouts. That's a new season high. He had 8 strikeouts in back-to-back games last month. Struck out 8 in Philadelphia, then 8 in Colorado, June 17th and 22nd. Jaime Garcia lifts one in the air, right center field. Peralta runs it down, 2 outs. Well, Zack Godley's spot due up 3rd in the 7th. He's just about at 100 pitches, so he can empty the tank right here. But he's got to face Ender Inciarte, who's had a huge series for the Braves.
I'll tell you what Godley's done good is he's eaten up some innings for the D-backs. I mean, as far as, giving up a lot more runs than he's expected to, but, to be pitching right now into the bottom of the 6th inning, giving up 7 runs, just goes to show you this guy's a battler every time he takes them out.
Inciarte's been winning the battle all series long. He's got 7 hits in the series, and he scored 5 runs. He's now hit safely in 21 of his last 23 games. In the air, left center field, Descalso coming over. And Zach Godley works a 1-2-3-6. Diamondbacks down 7-1. Back at SunTrust Park in Atlanta, our Cox high-speed highlights. Way too much Braves offense. Matt Kemp in the third, a 3-run homer, his 13th of the year against Zach Godley. 2 batters later, it's Big City Matt Adams, a solo shot. His 15th. He's hit a whole bunch of home runs here since his trade from the St. Louis Cardinals. And then Brandon Phillips, what a series he's had today. Phillips is 3 for 3 with 3 doubles. And he's got 7 hits in the series, 5 of them doubles. It's 7-1 Atlanta as the Diamondbacks bat in the top half of the 7th inning against Garcia. Daniel Descalso 0 for 2 leads it off.
I just got a nice little meal sent over from Chip Cherry on the other side. He said I sounded thin on television.
Take it as a compliment.
If you ask my wife and kids, they're going to.
What did you get? Oh, you got a whole box over there.
I got a patty melt and some French fries, some curly fries.
See, people have sent you ice cream. Now you're getting sandwiches and curly fries.
It's unbelievable. My family at home's taking food away from me, and I got to get on the road to eat.
And so back up Markakis, who runs up and catches it just shy of the warning track. Markakis got a late break on that one, got all turned around, but that's out number 1. This is a guy who's won 2 Gold Gloves in the outfield for the Baltimore Orioles and looked a little lost on that one.
Yeah, he got turned around a little bit. He almost overran it, really.
And catcher Jeff Mathis walked his last time up. Pitcher spot up next, and Brandon Drury, not in the starting lineup today. He's in the on-deck circle. He'll hit for Zach Godley. Under the glove of Dansby Swanson, and Jeff Mathis aboard for the 2nd time today. He's now hit safely in 9 of his last 11 games. That's a 1-out single.
Nice job by Mathis to scratch a single out right there in the hole.
And now Brandon Drury will hit for Zach Godley. Well, it's nice of Chip to send over some food. They got all kinds of stuff to choose from here at brand new SunTrust Park in Cobb County, just northwest of downtown Atlanta. Drury 284, 8 homers, couple of hits in the series, hitting for the pitcher Godley.
This is a tough at-bat for Drury for the simple fact that when you're scuffling a little bit, you get a day off, a little breather, and then you come into the game where you're thinking you're going to get a whole day off, and now you're coming in late. If you get a base hit here, now you feel really good. But if you make another out, it just mounts on now to the struggles that he's had.
He's got a pair of singles in the series so far. Missed inside there with a fastball, and it's 1-1. Braves bullpen starts to get busy. Luke Jackson. We're talking about this ballpark. We've been here for 3 days now, and it's hard not to be impressed with what they call not just a ballpark, but a lifestyle destination. We are surrounded here inside this just about 41,000 seat ballpark by hotels and shops and restaurants and theaters, entertainment venues. The ballpark itself is state-of-the-art everything. We've got a lot of Braves history on display, but this whole area around the ballpark that they are still developing, and it goes way back behind the park, is called the Battery Atlanta, and they have got everything here.
There's no doubt this is a beautiful ballpark. They still haven't figured out the traffic situation here.
That's a problem. Curry lines one foul, and it's a full count, 3-2. They have a big hotel. They have 3 different apartment communities around the ballpark, and they got inside ping pong tables and pool tables, big comfortable clubhouses. There's Monument Gardens. Gonzo and I were down there yesterday looking at some Atlanta Braves history. All on display. Bars and restaurants, hospitality areas, a whole big plaza. This is the Hank Aaron statue they unveiled earlier. There's the great one himself. 3-2 to Brandon Drury. Drury hits it hard, but right at Brandon Phillips. Swanson turns it. And that's the way things have gone here in Atlanta. We stretch it 7-1 Braves.
What do you mean a little attention? He needs all the attention every day. But we still love him. We know how he is. He likes attention day in, day out, but we give it to him. He needs it.
You still give him love, long distance? You guys still talk a lot?
Sometimes, because he's big time. He doesn't respond my texts every now and then.
Okay, we're going to bring it out right now.
I'm always going to love him. He just doesn't respond to me sometimes.
Yeah, that's good.
A lot of laughter talking to Ender Inciarte and David Peralta before yesterday's game. What do they miss about each other? Well, Ender misses those rides to the ballpark on the road. David misses, apparently there were free burrito bowls for Ender at Chipotle back in Arizona. And they just enjoy being with each other, very proud of each other. Ender being an all-star this year, David about to be a dad later this summer. And really after we chatted down there and we had some laughs, the two of them sat behind home plate and just were chatting the entire time, partly about baseball, but a lot about life, and they share that bond, both of them from Venezuela, but also had to work their way up. We know the story. David was a pitcher with St. Louis, had to come back up through indie ball after his arm injury and made his way back here. Ender Inciarte, Rule 5 pick, and he's worked very hard too coming up through the D-backs. So guys, it was fun to share some time with them.
Now, Jody, do we still have the video that you did when you rode to work with them that one day and you guys were head bobbing the whole way?
Yeah, I don't...
Yeah,
remember that?
They did like a Starbucks.
Yeah, you did
like a Starbucks or something.
Actually, that was Parra and Prado.
Oh, that was it.
Another fun pair of guys, of
Good
course.
call.
But,
Good
you know, there's a
call.
lot of similarities there because, you know, Parra and Prado used to have that air horn in the clubhouse. Well, David is like that. David provides that energy. And so very similar, though.
Yeah, those guys are really close. Here's TJ McFarland, the Ashline call to the bullpen. He'll face Brandon Phillips to lead off the 7th. Phillips has 3 hits today, all doubles. He's got 5 doubles in the series, plus a home run.
Yeah, he's definitely come out of the gates the way you want to in the second half of the season.
Hasn't he, though? 7 hits in the series. That one hit him. So he's on board again. Torlavella wants to make sure that actually hit Phillips. Hard to tell from that angle. You play on. Freddie Freeman has walked and struck out twice.
I think it was hard to tell there if that actually hit him or not, because it was with the camera angle, you can't see his pant leg. So,
you know, that's the thing about the challenge, and this came up the other night when Taijuan Walker hit into that double play and they didn't challenge the call at first. You have to have a look if you're going to decide to challenge that proves that the call was incorrect. Freddie Freeman sends a fly ball out to Descalso in left field. And it's one thing to make a challenge and hope for the best, but you're going to spoil it unless you know for sure that your guy has an angle that proves that you can get the call overturned. There's a lot of strategy that goes into that.
yeah, there really is, and sometimes you don't want to use that challenge early in the ball game if it's going to be inconclusive, just in case.
And sometimes you got nothing to lose. You might as well. It depends on the circumstance. But I mean, Alan Campbell, the Diamondbacks video coordinator, can tell Torrey, look, it's close, but I don't have an angle that says definitively yes, challenge.
Yeah, and you only have 30 seconds to make that call.
Exactly.
So it's not like you could sit there and say, hold on a second, let me look. And you know everybody's waiting to hear your decision whether you're going to challenge or not.
I mean, that's a real tough spot for AC, who almost always makes the right call. The whole ballpark, as you put it, is literally waiting for you to say yes or no. That's a lot of pressure. And oh, by the way, you only get 30 seconds. But you can look at 3 or 4 different angles and say, yeah, it's close, but is it enough to get the call changed? And that play at first with Taijuan was a good example, because Torrey was saying after the game on Friday, look, if the call is out and we challenge, we're going to lose the challenge. If the call was safe and Atlanta challenged, they would lose the challenge. Neither side really had one angle that said yes or no. Kemp homered back in the third, his 13th of the year. You like replay? Where do you stand with the whole thing?
I don't like it.
Really?
I like old school baseball where the managers would come out and argue and get tossed out of games.
You miss that, do you?
I miss it. I miss it.
I bet some of the managers might too.
I just miss that part, the excitement part of it. And
so you're a human element guy.
I am.
Uh-oh. I'm glad BB's not here to see this.
The human element part?
Yeah. That's I always make the human element argument and I get shut down pretty quick.
BB's helped me out a couple times getting tossed out of games for me. I just think that's an exciting part of the game, you know. When the managers, you never see it anymore, guys running out on the field. Now if they've challenged and they go out there, they get tossed for questioning the call.
Well, of course, the call when it goes to replay is not made in the ballpark, it's made in New York City, so arguing with the umpires is kind of pointless. So you're right, it's taken most of that out of the game. And occasionally the umpires won't be sure if somebody can challenge something or not, and then things can get heated when the umpire doesn't know the scenario, because those have changed over the years. You can challenge this, now you can't.
I would like to see the challenges like the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, almost like football. The last 2 minutes of the game, if there's close plays or whatever, they go to the replay side of it. That's what I would like to see. I mean, obviously there could be a play in the 2nd or 3rd inning that could cost you the game, but for the more times than not, it's the late part of the game where the game is on the line that would make a difference.
This is tapped to second. Owings comes over, has to be quick, but he gets Kemp, and Phillips is in at second. Yeah, it's like college football when they just look at every touchdown.
Yeah.
Well, we might be here a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there's a close play that might be in doubt, 7, 8, 9, why not just take a look? Nick Markakis 0 for 3. Markakis had a very quiet series. Just 1 for 11 in the 3 games. Singled and scored in that Atlanta 6th inning last night. He's hitting about .230 this year versus left-hand pitchers. Brandon Phillips at second and 2 outs. How about robot umps? You want robot umps?
No.
Automatic strike call, something back there beeps or flashes red or green.
I mean, the instant replay is great, but if an umpire misses a call, there's nobody going to go out there and be able to yell at them anyway for missing the call, because then they get it right with the instant replay.
You seem to want a lot of yelling and arguing.
I do. I love that part of the game. I mean, I grew up watching the Earl Weavers and the Billy Martins and all those guys running out there, and Lou Piniella tossing the bag halfway across the field. I love that part of the game. I think the fans do too. I think they miss that part. The manager running out there and flipping his hat backwards and getting after an umpire.
Well, once you let it in, and the NFL proved this, once you let it in, it just kind of takes over.
Well, look, the instant replay part is great. Last night it cost us a game, that 3-2 pitch, I think, where the Dansby Swanson.
Well, Paul Nart arguably missed a strike call.
Can you not say, okay, we want to instant replay that one pitch because that was an important pitch in the part of the game? That would have been the third out of the inning.
Okay, well, a lot of people want to do that, so you're going to add balls and strikes to instant replay.
No, that was a big part of the game. That would have been the third out of the inning. The next hitter came up and hit a double down the line.
No question, it changed the game, absolutely. But making balls and strikes subject to review, that's a whole nother level now you're going. That's one step away from robot umps.
Well, you can't do it every play, but if you get one a game or something like that, just as your challenge.
Interesting. It would have worked there.
It would have worked. It would have got us out of the inning.
Because now, even the K zones, the strike zone that you see on your TV screens when you watch games, that used to vary from regional network to regional network.
Right.
National networks might have better ones, but now those strike zones are put in by MLB and monitored by Major League Baseball. They calibrate all the cameras so it's the same at every ballpark. So, you know, the K zones, or whatever you want to call it, on all your regional broadcasts, national broadcasts, you know, right there, that's all set up and run by Major League Baseball just to get that uniform look all the time. They want that consistency.
And I'm sure they're monitoring these home plate umpires to see what percentage of balls and strikes they are and if they're in the zone.
Well, here we go. Full count to Markakis, 3-2. Phillips at second and 2 outs. On the ground to first, Goldie calls off McFarland, and they're able to strand Phillips. Will head to the gate. Diamondbacks down 7-1. Rough day for Zach Godley, although he finished with a season-high 9 strikeouts. But the Braves, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third. They lead at 7-1. Not a whole lot of offense once again for the Diamondbacks. Only 1 run on 4 hits, and they're looking at a 3-game sweep at the hands of these Braves. New pitcher for Atlanta. Seeing him for the second time of the series. He pitched in the ball game last night. It's the right-hander Luke Jackson, his 23rd appearance. After 7 pretty good innings by Jaime Garcia, walked 3, struck out 7, gave up only 4 hits.
The D-backs are running out of time here. They need to try to get this offense going, try to get some runs, get back into this ball game.
Jackson will face the top of the order. A.J. Pollock, David Peralta, and Paul Goldschmidt. So far, A.J. 0 for 3. Diamondbacks have not been swept in a series by the Braves in just over 4 years. And this would drop their losing streak to a season-high 5 in a row. Dodgers are winning in Miami. Rockies are winning at the Mets. So this is not going right. D-backs right now 15 over 500. 9.5 games behind the Dodgers NL West division lead. Only 2 up on the Rockies for that first wild card spot. So they would drop, if all these scores hold up, 10.5 back in the division and only 1 game ahead of Colorado. And if you're talking about wild card and the Diamondbacks hosting that wild card game at Chase Field would be, Gonzo, you have to think a tremendous advantage.
Especially the way the D-backs have played at home this season. Take your chances.
0-2 on A.J. Pollock. A.J. hits a fly ball pretty deep left field. It backs up Matt Kemp. He's got it on the track. And here comes David Peralta. Let's hear a little bit about him.
He likes to talk a lot.
Oh, wow. That's a freight train over there.
I would say the team mascot.
Loves attention.
And he told me, like, and you smell bad. I'm like, oh, don't say that to me.
He never knows when to shut up.
I would stay all day here.
You're just messing the team up right now.
What?
It's worse.
He's always stirring it up. The freight train, David Peralta. Singled and scored in the 4th. He is, Gonzo, it seems, in a lot of ways, the energy guy on this ball club.
Yeah, he is. He's a very enthusiastic guy, loves the game. He's been on both sides of it. He's been at the ultimate low of the game and in the highs of playing this ball game.
Braves have the shift on against him. He hits right into it. That's the shortstop Swanson. 6-3 on the putout, 2 down. Who was that guy on your World Series team and those teams in the early 2000s?
Man, I tell you, I think everybody really, it was a team that had a lot of fun. We held each other accountable. We were a close-knit bunch of guys.
I guess on a veteran team like that, you might not need that guy as much as you would on this team, like a young team.
Yeah, I mean, there was a different cast of characters of guys, but everybody had their own personalities, and you knew who you could have fun with, and then other guys that took the game a little bit more serious.
Goldie's been aboard 3 times today, a walk and 2 singles.
I tell you, the way this series has gone for the D-backs, that off day tomorrow might come at a perfect time just to get these guys away.
And regroup.
Be interesting tomorrow. We're staying right by the ballpark. Get in there early this evening to Cincinnati, and day game tomorrow with the Reds playing the Washington Nationals.
I think Strasburg's pitching, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Goldie hits it on the ground to shortstop. And it's a 1-2-3 8th inning. Yes, he kept his foot on the bag. Bottom 8 coming up, 7-1 Atlanta. To get that pitcher's mound patted down. The grounds crew needs to get their equipment out here. The umpires want that thing a little more smoother for TJ McFarland. And while we have a minute, let's remind you, next Saturday you can pick up the Robbie Ray strikeout counter bobblehead, D-backs and the Nationals. This is courtesy of Sprint. Bring the kids next weekend. You can get 2 free kids tickets with the purchase of each adult ticket. More information, dbacks.com/kids. There is the Robbie Ray strikeout counter bobblehead coming up Saturday. Don't forget, fans, it's Kids Free Weekend at Chase Field, July 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. D-backs fans, as we mentioned, can get up to 2 free kids tickets ages 15 and younger with the purchase of 1 adult ticket. And that's true for the bleachers, the bullpen reserve, baseline reserve, club reserve, infield and outfield. Kids Free Weekend coming up at Chase Field. Information on the promo can be found at dbacks.com/kids. So if you're a bobblehead guy, and who isn't, you need to get tickets for that game Saturday. Pick up the Robbie Ray strikeout counter bobblehead, courtesy of Sprint. We'll take a quick break while they address the mound issues. We'll be back from SunTrust Park in Atlanta right after this. Mound issues under the supervision of the umpires. It gives us a chance to show you what's next. Brought to you by CenturyLink. We're on an airplane as soon as this game is over. Off day in Cincinnati tomorrow. And the first of 3 against the Reds at Good American Ballpark starts on Tuesday. Robbie Ray will get the start against Sal Romano. And Zach Greinke Wednesday versus Tim Adelman. And boy, we watched Luis Castillo last weekend, Gonzo, at Chase Field. He was really impressive. He'll start Thursday against Taijuan Walker.
Yeah, he has an electric arm. I'm actually looking forward to that one, to see him pitch.
Well, the Diamondbacks have some pretty good pitchers going for this next series, and as you mentioned, you're going to have to shake this series off. This is a bad weekend in Atlanta. Move on, get the off day tomorrow, and regroup in Cincinnati. Now we'll make sure the mound is okay. Can a day off like the one coming up tomorrow change things up? Just add the All-Star break.
Yeah, there's no. Well, we thought the break was going to do well for the guys just to kind of regroup, and then obviously this 3-game series hasn't turned out the way we've liked it to. But the Atlanta Braves came out swinging. They've came out hot this whole series, getting big hits when they needed them.
Braves have won 6 of their last 9 series, including this one, and this, if the score doesn't change, will be their 5th series sweep of the year. And a win for Atlanta today would get them to 500 at 45-45, and they'd only be in, let's see, about 5 games of a wild card spot. So Atlanta, you're talking about trading all these guys at the deadline. They're right in that middle ground. They're very much in the wild card discussion right now. So maybe if they want to move a Phillips or an Adams, they might have to think twice.
Well, you got to think of what they're doing here, especially with all the new ballpark stuff. They own all of it, so you got to be thinking in the next couple of years they may be spending some big time dollars trying to get some big key free agents coming in here.
When all that stuff is built and finished behind the ballpark, the hotels, the restaurants, apartment complexes, you're right, they own all of it, we're told, and they are going to be printing money here. And it'll be hard to outspend Atlanta in the very near future, because they'll have mountains of cash.
Well, I think the thing that they've done in this ballpark that's so nice is if you're not a baseball fan, there's other things for you to do out here with the arcade and zip line and running, pretending like you're running the bases out there like a path from home to first.
There's stuff for the kids. There's social areas for the adults. There's a park. There's a theater for concerts. They really want to make this whole thing, not just a ballpark, but a destination, a lifestyle destination, as they like to call it. They're having a concert on the field after the game. They have another 4,000-seat concert venue on the grounds here. This was all sort of open land in the northwest suburbs of Atlanta, and they have turned it into a very small suburb called the Battery Atlanta, and it's got just about everything you can think of in and around this park. So it's going to become a tremendous revenue generator for the franchise.
They've actually thought of everything.
And the other thing, everywhere you look, something's been sold too. I mean, it's just a wall of corporate logos and signage. So they're getting every nickel out of every inch. Mathis hangs onto the foul tip, and Matt Adams strikes out.
You see the pitch from McFarland, just sets up away, just hits that spot down and out.
One down for the catcher, Tyler Flowers, who's 0 for 3.
You know, we talked about all the nice amenities they have here. The only thing they forgot to do was expand roads and make it easy in and out of this ballpark.
I tell you what, after the game, you cannot get out of here. Owings at second, 2 down. There's everything goes beyond the ballpark, past it, out beyond right field, and it goes way, way back there. So everybody is coming from back there around the park, trying to get to the main road out front, which is just a very small suburban road, but you've got about 3 or 4 parking lots, a couple of parking garages, all emptying into one 2-lane road, and nothing moves.
Or maybe it was a ploy just to make you stay here longer and spend more money.
You don't have any choice because you're not going anywhere.
It's like Disney, you know, the mouse will shake you down before you leave. If you got any money left, they take it from you before you get out.
Dansby Swanson. Yeah, they've got to get the. I mean, traffic in Atlanta is a nightmare anyway. But boy, this getting in and out is not easy.
Oh, it usually. And we're fortunate that we're playing here on the weekend. But
oh yeah,
that Friday trying to get to the ballpark, it took us almost an hour to get here. Bumper to bumper traffic on the highway.
Yeah, coming from Buckhead, going up 400 and around the perimeter, it just does not move at rush hour in either direction in this city anyway. But once you get into this complex, it's really hard to get out. Which, as you said, maybe was part of the plan. But boy, it is a traffic snarl trying to get home. Johan Camargo, who's looked so impressive in this series, is on deck. He would hit for the pitcher should Swanson reach. TJ behind 3-1. There's a bouncer that Lamb has to charge from third. Jake makes a nice play, throws him out. McFarland a 1-2-3-8. We hit the ninth in Atlanta. Diamondbacks down 7-1. hasn't gone the Diamondbacks' way here today. Matt Kemp really got it started in the third. A 3-run homer off Zach Godley, his 13th of the year. And 2 batters later, it's big city Matt Adams, who's done nothing but hit home runs since he came over from the Cardinals. That's his 15th of the year. A rough day for Zach Godley, despite the fact that Zach settled down nicely, finished with a career-high 9 strikeouts. Brandon Phillips on base 4 times today. He hit 3 doubles in the ball game, Brandon Phillips. And here we sit as we start the 9th inning. Diamondbacks with only 4 hits. They trail it 7-1. And some changes for the Braves to finish this thing off. New pitcher, this is a guy they like a lot. A very good changeup, Akil Morris, who was recalled from AAA Gwinnett earlier this month. And he was Gwinnett's pitcher of the month for June, has had some very good minor league numbers. Freddie Freeman moves over from third to first base. Johan Camargo takes over at third, and he hits 9th. So the pitcher spot now 6th in the Atlanta order. Chris Owings 0 for 3, leads off the 9th.
There's that changeup right there, just kind of runs in under the hands of Chris Owings out in front of it.
Yeah, that is supposed to be a really good one. 24-year-old right-hander Akil Morris. Spent 1 day with the Braves at the major league level last year, but didn't get into a game. Was sent back to the minors after that ball game. He opened up this season at AA Mississippi, went to AAA Gwinnett at the end of April, and now here he is in the big leagues. Keep that bullpen busy. You never know, just in case. Jason Hirsch, the right-hander. And Owings strikes out.
Today after the game, don't miss the debut of the D-backs 10th inning D-backs Give Back show. The D-backs organization has donated over $50 million, and this program spotlights how it has improved lives and communities around the state of Arizona. D-backs Give Back premieres today right after the D-backs and Brave games on Fox Sports Arizona.
That's a special edition of the 10th inning, the D-backs Give Back show. It'll be commercial free, courtesy of Brian Hogan and the folks at Fox Sports Arizona. Josh Kellman put that show together. Josh always does outstanding work. Here's Jake Lamb. So that's a show of which both Fox Sports Arizona and the Diamondbacks are extremely proud. So we invite you to hang around after the game and check out the D-backs Give Back show, which premieres right after the game.
It'll be nice to see if Jake can get a hit right here. Carry that over into Tuesday's game over in Cincinnati.
And Jake's had a quiet second half so far, 1 for 11 in the series. Morris showing that good fastball changeup combo. He's ahead 1-2. Well, that's a changeup that got away from him just a bit, breaking down and away from the lefty. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, he threw one earlier to Owings and it looked like it ran too, and that one, same thing. He's got a lot of movement on that changeup.
Trying another one there, and Jake was out in front. Still 2-2. We've heard from some of the Braves folks here how much they like this young man as they try and piece together a bullpen. Ketel Marte on deck. They had Jason Mott, but he's on the DL. Full count, 3-2. strikes out for the 3rd time today. Ketel Marte. D-backs with only 4 hits, a single by Peralta in the 4th, followed by a Goldie RBI single. Goldie has walked and singled twice today. Mathis had a walk and a single, and that has been all the offense. They've been out hit 8-4. They trail at 7-1. Rockies are going to win in New York. They lead the Mets 13-4. So the Diamondbacks lead for that first wild card spot in the National League will drop to 1 game. Right now the Dodgers are leading at Miami 3-2 over the Marlins. That's in the 9th inning. And if that doesn't change, the division gap will be 10.5. As Ketel Marte flies out, and the Atlanta Braves get their first series sweep against the Diamondbacks in more than 4 years. And the D-backs, Gonzo, their struggles continue. They've lost a season high 5 in a row, and they've dropped 11 of their last 14.
Tough loss right here once again for the D-backs, desperately trying to get some offense, get something going. The off day couldn't come at a better time tomorrow. Hopefully they can find their way back and get back on track on Tuesday in Cincinnati.
Well, Jaime Garcia gets the win, his 3rd of the year, his 1st in the new ballpark. Zach Godley the loss. Zach drops to 3-4. 7-1 the final in 2 hours and 47 minutes. Diamondbacks are swept in their first ever visit to SunTrust Park. Back right after this.